Right. Hi, Leslie. Yes.
There we go.
Absolutely. Hi, Barbara. And see what your problem.
Do we begin the meeting all over again?
Yeah. All right.
At rapid speed.
May I suggest that we had a formal action? So let's just recount what we did for the video.
Okay.
We approved the minutes with a roll call vote before the video started. I should think that's enough.
Oh, you mean right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
What you just said?
Right.
Okay, fine. So, so I don't need to call the meeting order again?
No.
Okay, great. Okay, so far we've approved the minutes, no lot sales. So we'll go to commissioner comments. Fran?
Okay, well, I have a couple of things to report. First of all, Barbara's and my proposal to the offshore wind fund went through successfully, was submitted successfully, with a lot of thanks to Charlie and also to Vince Murphy, who in fact ushered all of the proposals coming through the town to the offshore wind fund.
So this was a request for grant funds.
Request for grant funds for doing a video of a walk through the College Cemetery. So that's been submitted. We don't know exactly when the decision will be made. I've asked and they said, because it's the first time we've done this, we're not sure. But Vince Murphy, who's been very, very helpful, has said that the minute he knows, we'll know.
Okay.
Then I had written a press release for Phoebe Ann's Footstone, but the press release says the job has been accomplished, and because of the weather, it hasn't been. So we'll hold the press release. Florencia says they will issue it through the town to the media. So I can correct the text of the press release as needed. She's formatted it. However, we should take a vote today about releasing the press release at the appropriate time. So if somebody would move that we do that.
I think you just did.
Did I?
And I'll second your motion.
Okay, roll call vote.
Great, so we have a motion and a second. Any questions on the motion? Any discussion on the motion?
No question, but let's just reaffirm that this gives permission to release the press notice at the appropriate time.
Okay.
And I'm in favor.
Okay. All right. All in favor?
No.
Lee?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Scotty? Aye.
And Barbara.
Barbara?
Aye.
And Chairman votes aye. Okay, so that's for the press release. Was there another item, Fran, you had?
Oh, I just wanted to actually ask Charlie, will all the stones in the College Cemetery and in the Quaker Cemetery all be cleaned with the DP2?
The Quaker Cemetery are, and I believe I got to look at the College Cemetery scope. If we did all of them, or if it was just the broken ones to be repaired.
Mm-hmm. Because the last time they were cleaned, when the DPW did it, they missed one over by the fence by the hospital, and I really want to be sure that that one gets a cleaning now because it didn't before.
If Walter comes on, we should be able to ask him right here.
Mm-hmm.
If he comes on.
And you mentioned that the inquirer knows that when it is done, they might come and take some photos.
Yep. Yeah, Lee emailed the Yankee. We connected them with Walter. They've been in touch. They were going to try to come out. They were hoping to do some work yesterday and today, but obviously the weather, been kind of screwing. They've been kind of bouncing back. They've had some work that they're doing at cemeteries and on the mainland, and so they kind of ran out and came down here when it was too cold up there. Did all the D2 stuff, and it kind of got cold here, and they ran back up to do some repair work up there. So they will be back. Walter's sent the link again. Oh, here we go. Walter, you there?
His camera is off as well. Can you unmute him as host? And ask to start.
One day, when all 20-year-olds are our ages, they won't be having these problems.
Yeah.
So. So Walter is there, but he's not there.
That's correct.
Yeah, I sent him a text. Yeah, should we skip? Yeah, skip 4 for now.
Yeah, wait till he.
Hopefully it comes on. If not, off.
Okay, Newtown Cemetery, item 5. We'll skip ahead. Newtown Cemetery plan for consolidation and so on. I have no confirmed update yet on, as far as what they're doing. I did speak with Andrew Vorks. And did we talk about this at the last meeting? Oh, okay. So I spoke with Andrew Vorks, who is an adjunct or whatever at the planning board. And Andrew was the one who originally was involved with dividing the cemetery into 4 different lots and all that stuff. So I saw him, I spoke with him, I explained our situation, that we need to have those those lots consolidated so we can advance our monument restoration project. We sent him a copy of the original document requesting that these, and that's from
Several years ago.
6 years ago.
Quite a while ago.
Yeah.
I sent him a copy of our memorandum to the town,
Yes.
along with the backup document where I did all the deed searching.
Right. So I haven't heard back from Andrew yet, as far as when I spoke with him, he said that he understood the situation, and that when he got back to the office, he would do whatever he has to do.
As I understood it, with the original meeting with John Giorgio, town council present, and I think Andrew was in on the meeting as well, was that if the select board accepts the fact that it's an active cemetery and has been so for over 100 years, it is a cemetery, and we don't have to do anything more than that. But there has been some reluctance in the council's office to go through this procedure. I think they want to be reassured in some manner or another that the so-called coffin offset had nothing to do with Newtown. That's for the record, by the way.
Yeah. So how we go forward with this?
Let's you and I ask to meet with Andrew. Let's you and I ask Andrew to have a meeting.
To have a face-to-face meeting and see what.
An action item.
Action item, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Superheroes, action man.
Yeah, that's the wear capes.
That was a real breakthrough when I saw Andrew. I was at the post office. That's where I saw him. He just come back from vacation in Paris, so historical one of those was the Stoners. Anyway, we had a nice conversation and yeah. All right, so we follow up with that instead of a meeting.
I think Walter is unmuted his.
I'm unmuted, but I still have a little video issue here. I apologize for this.
No problem.
Suzanne usually takes care of this for me, but she's not here today. So the computer fella is not such a computer fella.
Well, we had an issue here as well.
Oh, there you are.
Hey, there you are.
Is it working?
I got you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness. Boy, you know how a little thing can make you feel so dumb, huh?
Yeah, I know.
Well, I apologize to hold up your meeting.
So,
Well, may I ask a question?
Yes.
Walter, now, in the Quaker Cemetery and the Colored Cemetery, are you treating all of the stones with the D2?
We have 39, I believe there's 39 at the historic colored that were on the bid that we put together, that you put together. We have those 39. There are a few there that we are treating on top of that, but not all of them. Not all. We can do more. We can treat the rest of them. The cemetery at Quaker, we're treating all of them.
Okay. Why I ask is because there's one stone in the historic Colored Cemetery that's way off over by the fence by the hospital.
Yes.
And a few years ago, when the Department of Public Works treated all of the stones in the Colored Cemetery, they missed that one. It's never been treated, so I would really like it to be treated now.
Okay.
And you've already done the ones in the Quaker Cemetery.
Yes, those will just need to be final wash and reapplied. And then there's one stone there kind of in the middle that is broken, that when the weather gets warmer, we're going to repair.
Okay.
And at the historic cemetery behind the hospital, we have some there yet to repair, but we kind of ran out of the good weather there to repair. There was a couple there that were leaning that we have to kind of, if you look at the cemetery from where the boulder is, they're off on the right hand side there. There's probably, I would say 6 or 8. They're all kind of in a row and they're all leaning. Those all have to be fixed. And there's one by the boulder, a taller one. I don't remember the name, but when we went to check it out, it was broken at the base. So we're going to have to take and dig that one out and see what kind of base it has. And if it has a deep base, then we'll have to probably repin it. But we can go over there and pretty much walk through, because it's not that bad of a cemetery to clean up all around.
Barbara and I think both would really love to take a walk there with you the next time that you're here. And of course, we want to reset Phoebe Ann's footstone.
Oh yeah, we have that. We're going to reset that. Yes, we are. Yeah, that's not a problem. We'll just find out. Charlie gave me the names and everything, but I can call Charlie and he can get in touch with one of you guys. You can come down and we put it in the right spot.
I would be delighted to be along with you on that one. Thank you.
Sure. Yep, no problem.
Okay, any other questions? Oh, now as far as the press release about the cemeteries, we should tell Walter that we're gonna.
Oh.
You want to tell him?
So I wrote a little press release about putting Phoebe Ann's footstone back, but I wrote it as if it had already been done. So we'll just hold the press release until it is,
Yes.
and then we'll release it.
Okay, I had the man from the newspaper call me, and
Yeah,
we anticipated that we were going to be there yesterday.
I know.
Yeah, but everything got thrown in the blender because between the weather here, the weather there, and the ferry's not moving, we kind of just we're gonna probably move him to maybe next week one day.
So
You know,
we should, maybe Lee might give the Inquirer Mirror a heads up that there will be a photo up.
right. And I figured maybe we could do it when it was a little bit more nice outside where, where it didn't look like it was winter, you know. I wouldn't expect your snow to lot. You got like 3-4 inches there.
Well, it's kind of pretty.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure it is. You
Would
know.
someone like to do the Phoebe Ann thing during February because it's Black History Month?
Okay, I got you. Okay, well then we'll make plans to do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, and then we'll just make plans to go and do it. We'll just let you know the day that we're coming out. I'd like to go over there and maybe go through the Quaker again while I'm there. If it does warm up, maybe we could fix that one stone there. And there's a couple there that are sitting on a base that and some of them are sitting on chiseled rock. They'd actually, some have a base and some don't. The ones that are buried appear not to have a regular base, you know, like the marble slotted base. They're just sitting in rocks. That's why I think they're sitting a little lower, you know. But there's a couple there that are kind of wiggly that we're going to go and re-epoxy.
That's good to hear.
So
Good. All right. Well, this is, we're really excited about getting this done. And as you know, we've applied for a CPA grant to do the remaining 2 cemeteries,
yep.
Newtown and Old
New North.
New North. So
Who knew, too new.
two new. So anyway, they're looking great so far, and this has been a long-term project that we've been, I think, working on for trying to figure out for the last several years. Anyway. So anyway, it's great to have you here, and
Thank you very much.
Thanks for the update.
No problem. Thank you for having me today. I wanted to meet with you guys in person, but it's what happens, I guess, right?
Nice to see you, though.
Okay, so we'll be talking to you. We'll let you carry on.
Okay, thanks, Walter.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, that brings us to number 6. Projects review list. At the end of the agenda, I started this years ago, more as sort of a tickler file for me to keep track of, the different projects, and to sort of discuss them as we went along, just to, keep them in front of us. So I think we have the first one, the consolidation of Newtown.
Still awaiting action.
Still awaiting. I noticed it's at the top of the list now. I do try to rotate them in terms of order of urgency to try and get them done.
And we have begun the monument restoration that colored.
Yeah,
right, exactly. And the ongoing D2 treatments are
underway as well.
Underway again. Fencing. We had talked, this was a couple of years ago, about fencing at the historic colored cemetery. And there's no fence along
Vesper Lane side.
right. So,
Fence along where? No fence where?
Along Vesper Lane side.
the Vesper Lane side of the cemetery. The other three sides are fenced. But there is sort of a natural berm along the Vesper Lane side. And there's also a lot of vegetation on that side as well. So,
maybe this would be a reason to ask Charlie what he thinks should be done.
Yeah, does the vegetation in the berm, is that the property line for the cemetery? Do we know?
I'm not 100% sure just where that property line is. I would assume that it is, you know, just because of the vegetation. And I know the land bank, which owns the adjacent property, and they mow it. They mow down along the base of the.
I will speak, but with deference to Fran, who probably knows more about this than I do. If there's a property marker, it's because the land bank put it in, because I don't think there was a bound set for the historic colored cemetery.
Yeah, I would agree, because I remember looking at each of the cemeteries, we found cornerstones for even the Quays Asylum burial. We found 4 of those. But I don't recall finding any bounds for the historic colored cemetery.
But ones may have been set for the land bank. That's a
Oh,
guess.
I see.
That's a guess.
All right, I'll take a
But-
closer look.
But they still may not have defined the corner of the historic color.
But the land bank would definitely have an accurate map.
Yes.
They would, because they.
Yes.
All right, well, I'll follow up with the land bank and to
Oh,
see
great.
what kind of documentation they have to see where that is. So the question becomes, do we still feel that we need a fence along that property line with the vegetation that's there?
Barbara, how do you feel about that?
Fence? Well, yeah, I kind of like the way we have split rail around an awful lot of the cemeteries. It would certainly be in that, you know, ilk of what we seem to do.
Yeah.
I also feel it would be good. We've got 3 sides fenced. I would like to.
I'd like to define it.
Yeah, it would definitely define the cemetery. And the land bank has mowed a path, as you know, through their property up to the.
So, you know, we'd have put in a fence with an opening where that path comes to,
Exactly.
which would perhaps remind the land bank from year to year where they should mow.
Yeah. Although land bank is pretty good about maintaining that path.
Is this something the DPW?
Yeah. Well, we just need to, just figure out if we can find out where the property line is.
Right.
And then depending on where the property line is in relation to the brush, there are then 3 options. On the outside, on the Vesper Lane side of the brush, remove the brush, replace the fence, or put the fence on the inside of the brush, depending on what the preference of the commission would be.
Okay, well, I'll take a look at the cemetery, and if you guys are up there in the cemetery, take a look at it, see what you think as far as the fence on that fence. Fencing and brush removal at New and Old North cemeteries. Old North is pretty good. There's a section at the very back where the marsh is back there. There are a few graves, if they're.
And the brush tends to encroach. In New North, we had a commission visitation, and we made notes about where we.
Exactly.
Some of that I think has been done, but not all of it.
Yeah.
Correct?
a lot of it on Franklin Street, was done. There
That
was,
was, the neighbors are very appreciative.
yeah, exactly. No, that was.
But within the cemetery, there were some lots that had trees planted that had gotten kind of out of control.
So perhaps, I'm just trying to think, we could, if we have a meeting at the cemetery, we could post a meeting and, you know, do what we did before. Or we could, of course, do it individually, go into the cemetery and make notes. And
Frankly, I enjoy going as a group.
yeah, no, I great, yes.
So speaking from the open meeting law webinar,
Mhm.
we don't
need.
we don't need to post a meeting if all we do is go to look and review. But the minute we make any kind of a discussion or decision, then it's a meeting. And so my suggestion is let's post it as a meeting.
Right. That's what we did when we went up to, that was at New North. So that was some years ago. I think.
Well, we're talking about New North right now. Again.
Yeah, exactly. That's right, because Bob Gardner was still on the commission. So.
No, I'm thinking of a more recent one than that.
Yeah, but all right. Well, how does that sound as far as? Is there any particular day of the week that's better than any other day?
I'm most available on Saturday mornings.
Saturday.
Okay. This little kid's going to be in Phoenix 24th through the 29th of February. Otherwise, I'm mostly, well, Alan, your schedule, my schedule kind of coincide.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty much available. So any day I could make work.
All right. Well, you want to do it,
March.
say next week sometime?
I'll be away in New York till Thursday.
No, I think we're looking at March, aren't we?
First week of March?
The first week in March, I'm going to be out of commission. I've got to be up in Boston. I need some surgery, and I'm going to be up there for.
What about the last week of February? Is that not an issue? I mean, that's.
Unless you want to do it in Phoenix, I'm out of touch.
Oh, yep. Okay. I missed that.
Well, then maybe it's mid-March. I mean, this isn't a very urgent matter after all.
Yeah, we could do.
Do we want to have our March meeting? Are you anticipating being available the second week of March?
I think so. Let me just.
The 13th? You mean have it be like need it
13th, right? The 13th.
Are you thinking in lieu of our meeting?
Well, no, it would be our meeting. We would simply have it outdoors.
Oh, I see. That would be an idea. Okay. I'm not sure when I'm going to be back. My surgery is on the 29th of February. And the doctor said that expect a week in the hospital.
Whole week in the hospital, poor guy.
Yeah, I know. I am dreading this. And then he said some rehabilitation and so on.
Well, I think that we.
Alan, you pick a date, test it on us, and give a few alternatives.
Was there a reason we couldn't do it next weekend? Next week, apart from me being away till Thursday? Because we can do Thursday or Friday next week, unless
I'm tied up on weekday mornings.
Yeah.
There's no
All right.
real pressure on this. I don't think so. If it makes sense to have the March meeting, wait for the spring weather.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Be nice for it to be a little warm too.
All right. So perhaps after our March 13th meeting.
Well, we'll set a time after March 13th.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So take your computer with you, Alan, and join us by Zoom. I think the rules are that if it's a hybrid meeting, the vice chair will preside.
I think I did a cemetery commission meeting when I was in the hospital.
You did?
PCOs.
Yes, you did.
Anyway, so, okay, I'll put that on the March agenda then.
Wonderful. Perfect.
And then let's see.
Now, Alan, as we advance down this list, I'll let you get your notes. Right at the very bottom, maybe we can persuade Andrew Force to use his persuasive powers to complete the swap.
Yeah, interesting. I saw Peter Hicks, Jeannie Hicks's husband. I was walking, I started the east end of the island walking, and I bumped into Peter, who I used to work with, when he was at the Conservation Foundation. I didn't broach the subject, but it was a very pleasant exchange. He was welcoming his dog, and unlike his wife, who
restraining order on you.
that's a good point. I'll raise that with him. I'll raise that question again there. And see.
When Ken was involved, he said, look, it's on my list, but I've been told by the attorney it's not high. I'll keep pressure on them. And so, of course, when he was no longer able to serve, it really did go. I think it fell off the desk.
Yeah. Well, it was Vicki Marsh who was handling it. And I spoke with Vicki Marsh, and she said, "Oh, we're so busy and blah blah blah." And I said, "Look, I tried to explain to her that this was important to get it resolved, because we've been working on it for 5 years, 6 years,
6 years at least.
So the reality is that I was out there again over the weekend just to check the cemetery and that sort of thing. I think I'm not sure that there's burial space back there because the vegetation is so thick, there are trees and all that sort of thing. But it's the principle of the thing, the fact that they have actually planted stuff on our property. Plus
my understanding of legal issues are that if we give them an encroachment notice for the building, it would put some kind of a stain on their title, making it difficult to transfer or convey.
Yeah. That's what we've talked about this.
Yeah. So
yeah, I don't.
We'll add it to the agenda when we talk to Andrew.
We will. Exactly. Okay, so we did fencing and brush removal at New and Old North. We'll do site visit in March. And the map. We need a new map for Pulpus with the layout of the new spots that we have laid out. So, and of course we do have the markers to put in the ground. I do still have the boxes of it's like a Chinese puzzle.
Well, I was going to say that snow is a great insulator. The ground's probably still soft enough if you want to scrape it aside.
Well, back in the fall, I was out there, and what I did is I had some string, the red string.
Yeah, the survey string.
And I laid out the rows and so on, because that's back when I was trying to figure out again how to do this. Scotty is the expert. So
we'll do the next one.
Yeah, I know. There's no urgency.
It's a little warmer.
Yeah, I Well, that's what I thought too, so.
And you're feeling better. Or when you recover.
Yes, I am. So those are the items and all right, well, those, as I say, what I do is I keep them on the list until we are done with them, until they're completed, then I can take them off the list and so on, so.
It's helpful.
Yeah, so it's more,
Never
it's
did.
more a guidance for me to, so I can keep track of what we have underway. God, I think we have covered our agenda.
And Fran's already made.
And I need to be
Are there any more?
I need to be elsewhere, so.
Okay.
All right. Okay, is there any further business to come before the commission this afternoon?
You know, I just have one. I was wondering if we're going to consider expanding the commission membership. I mean, I don't know that we need to discuss it today because it's already 4 o'clock, or almost 4. But anyhow, I just wanted to know if we were going to maybe put that on a further agenda.
Well, I did meet with Maureen Coleman at the town about this, and she explained because we are a commission, the select board can't just sort of wave a magic wand and do that.
Right.
There's a process, right?
Right. I understand. I mean, I have the process here written out, and there's actually a couple ways we can go. But again, I don't think we need to discuss it now.
It will take amendment in the general court of the legislation that established the commission.
Right. I understand that. Or we can adopt the Mass General Law that establishes all cemetery commissions. And why Nantucket didn't do that route is a bit of a mystery. And I think that's probably our first step to find out why we're not under that law. So at any rate,
yeah, we'll follow up on that. One of the suggestions that Maureen had, and I also spoke with Erica about this briefly, was we can have an adjunct, somebody that who's interested. We want to get somebody who's interested and willing to.
The thing about the people who've expressed interest is that they work, and in order to take time off from work, they have to have official standing with the committee.
I see.
I think it's something we should. I think it's something we should consider. And anyhow, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll. It's not off the table. I mean, we'll look at it. I mean, we're all getting older, which is one of my concerns. It's fine.
I'm really jumping because I have to leave.
Okay.
Can we adjourn?
All right. I declare we are at the end of our agenda, and the meeting is adjourned.
All right. Thank you all.
All right. Thank you, Barbara.